And good night to Grenada, Carriacou, and Martinique. Once again, it is time for Talking Points 9. My name is Sheldon Scott. I'll be here with you up until the 10 o'clock hour. So saying a special good night to all of you joining us via We Noise Radio, all of you joining us via the YouTube, all of you joining us via the Facebook. Hope that you all have been having a wonderful night tonight. Good night to my good friend Chris London. Good night to you. Just folks, remember to hit the like button, and if you're on Facebook, hit like and hit share. Make sure you share. Yeah, hit the like button, hit the share button. Let's get the likes up. Let's get the shares up. Send the link to your friends so that they can also view. It's been a while since we sent out the links to the video. Start back doing that every night, yeah. You have to get back into the groove with that particular one and making sure that our links go out on a nightly basis. Let's hope our video homes, I know it was giving a bit of problems. I think you all hearing me very low. Yeah, I know it was giving a bit of problems a little earlier, so I did some adjustments to it. So I hope that it's much better right now. Let me see, I was supposed to call it that my voice was a bit low. Hello, good night.
Hey, Sheldon.
Yes, sir.
Good night.
Yes, sir.
You're not singing good at all. You're echoing. You're echoing very bad.
I'm echoing now. I wonder why I'm echoing.
When you're speaking,
Yeah.
I hear the feedback in the back. And it's not coming to good at all.
But I don't know why. The system is up how I usually have it. No, let me see if I can adjust that. All right, no problem.
All right, no boss.
Okay. Yeah, folks. Anybody else having that problem? Is that a problem that listener alone is having? Let me see here. I believe my audio was a bit loose, so I was just trying to fix that. Let me see here. Let me see if I could lower that down there a little bit. Nice, yeah. Let me see. That should be thing there. This should be down here, I think, and this should be up here. So I'm not sure if you all are hearing me better now. Hit me a message. Let me know if you're hearing me better now. Yeah. You all are still having an echo, or you all hearing me better? I'm wondering if it is not something I have open somewhere. Oh, I see the reason why. Yeah, I see the reason why. Yeah. Okay. I know why you all were having the echo now. Yeah, I just sorted it out. I just sorted that one out. I think I know. Hello. Hi, good night.
Good night, Mr. Scott. How are you doing tonight?
Hey, I'm fine. I'm fine. I think you were hearing the
Long time
echo
I
as
don't hear.
well.
Long time. Every time I call, I can't get through.
Oh gosh,
I
I'm
only
sorry
get you
about
one.
that.
Every time I call, I can't get you, Mr. Scott blocking me.
No,
So
man.
things,
No
brother.
blocking. I'm good. How are you doing?
Yeah. Not too bad, man. Not too bad. I just sit down here listening. I say I'm waiting for the night to be my first verdict.
Yeah.
But then I realize but it's in the studio.
Mm-hmm.
You're having a little problem there whereby you're hearing a kind of big echo.
No, I know what
Because I was just
happened,
listening to you.
and let me explain what
Yeah.
happened to you. Why that was happening a while ago. It's not. It shouldn't be happening now. What happened there
Okay.
is that I changed the port that I am using for my video camera on the machine,
Okay.
and as I did
Mhm.
that, it created automatically another
Okay.
audio feed. And where that audio
Yeah.
feed was, as I'm looking in the system, I wasn't seeing it directly, nor would I hear it because my audio is
Yeah.
coming through my mixer. So it's now that you all
Okay.
said, I looked and I saw that, hey, this thing created a second audio feed. So I had to kill the second audio feed. That audio was
All
actually
right.
coming from the camera directly.
All right.
Yeah, that's why you all were
A
hearing
pleasant
it
good night
messed
to
up.
you, and I want to say pleasant good night to you, and I want to say good night to my parliamentary representative, Dr. Clarice Modest. She's handing over some laptop in St. Mark's in the graduation,
Yeah,
and
I
I just want
saw
to say
that.
congratulations to her.
Yeah, I
You
saw
know,
that on
that's
Facebook
a
today.
big move, big move.
Yeah.
You understand? Sheldon, the program already start in terms of giving you your verdict.
No, you can go ahead if you have something you want to raise. You can go right ahead, my
Yeah,
friend.
Sheldon, I don't know, I don't. There's no word to describe these people and them in this country. Sheldon, these people are very, very, very heartless, and they know the thief in him. I mean, Sheldon, I listen to this man to the point. How could you give someone some money in a hand without even supervising that person and getting to know who is that person before you give them the money? And then you're telling them now 45,000, and you tell them they take the money, bring it back.
Mm-hmm.
Shannon, what's going on in this country, Shannon? Why shouldn't we have to get these men on the mountain?
Mm-hmm.
These men come to pull their pocket. Look at many people suffering. Yeah? You show a clip with some people in Carriacou. These people have a heart. They say NDC is heart, but they don't have one. Why are you doing the people of Carriacou that far? You got the money. You got the craft money. You got $118 million. You just blow all the money. And they just line and line and line. That's what shouldn't watch people vexing me and say, why are you saying that about the prime? But I don't have no respect for that prime minister. I don't have no respect for you. You're lying too much for the poor people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. I heard you say that the money, he even said Friday, he has sent the money to the people and them in Carriacou from the law firm. Today, I meet a man, the man saying not a dollar went up. Not a dollar. Why are you doing that to the Grenadian people? Just lying for them. Sheldon, we holding the fort, and we moving on. We holding the fort, we moving on, and we go take back the country. Don't worry. Soon, Sheldon, because Sheldon, I could tell you, we walk in. We do what we have to do. We on the ground and we walk in. Understand?
Yes,
We
indeed.
walk in. Yeah, we walk in, Sheldon. We walk in to get these people anymore. Sheldon, every person from in Grenville come back down. I was in Grenville, Sheldon. Business people tell me they just buying goods and putting in a place. And he just stay. We moving. There were guys who come out and buy real goods. Sheldon. And the man coming and buy two pieces of thing. I say, what going on? He said, boy, you don't know. Anytime this government come in power, it's problem. And you don't lie. Every time they come into politics, they will give this man a try. In 2000, they do the same thing. They come back and do the same thing. Watch these people can run the country And they don't want to run the country. They take what they take already. Give it up. We go take it. You like too much stupidness going on, brother. You show me a little child. This child is what is exactly others use the word when this child and him sick or so.
I'm not sure which one specifically referring to because we always trying to help some children here.
The little child. And Ziggy shows a lot of clip too. People there on the step. My God, you don't have a heart, man. To see the situation for yourself. And say, well, let me try out some means and ways how I can help these people. Marshall and these people don't care, boy. They don't care. And these men don't care, them. They don't care. Marshall and I wish you all the best continue doing right to go. And if it wasn't for you, Sheldon.
It stands for none of them care. That's what it stands for. The N is for none, the D is for them, and the C is for care. None of them care.
None of them care, in truth.
None of them care, yeah.
Yes. But I thank you for doing the wonderful job you're doing, because if it wasn't for you and classroom and Andre, we don't know where we're going. Would I tell you? Because remember, these people say that need to know basis, and nobody here knowing nothing. Thank God for all you. And my brother, any information that is valid to bring it out to the people, let the people know. But the people coming, opening their eyes now. And I thank God the Grenadian opening up their eyes. Many of them opening up their eyes because they seen what's going on. Seen what's going on with their eye. They seen that the government don't care about them. I listened to your program again with Miss Thompson, when she said she met some young people, and young people saying, tell us what you're going to do for us. No. I don't want to know what NMP do. That's NMP pass and gone. Tell us what you're going to do. Our future is in your hand right now. Tell us what you're doing for us now. No, you have to make the move. But they ain't doing that. Or they're selling to people and Marco. But the people and Marco. Good night, my political leader. Next Prime Minister of Grenada, I think Miss Emlyn Pierre. Sheldon, you have a wonderful night.
Same
and holy food.
Same
and be strong. Be strong. We will be back. Grenadian, be strong. We will be back. I know a lot of us are going through a lot of hardship right now. But with the help of God, everything will be okay. Holy food. Have a pleasant night.
All right. Thank you so very much, my brother.
Yeah, my bless. Have a good one.
Yes, indeed, folks. And yes, so as I said, you all should be hearing me properly now. Yeah, you all should be hearing me properly now. I think that was a mistake. Yeah, so you all should be hearing me properly now. I don't think that you all should be having any issues hearing me right now again. Yeah, so I think that is fixed. Yeah, that issue is fixed. Nice. Yeah, no, the caller is correct. At times like these, you wonder, where are the moral harbingers? That's what they said? Right. Or the moralists, who consider themselves to be card-carrying members, some of them creators of the National Democratic Congress. Yeah? You ask yourself, where are these people now? We have a caller online. Hello, good night.
Good night, Mr. Sheldon Scott.
Camille Teresa Scott, how you doing?
Well, at this so.
Oh gosh.
Just give me 1 second. Let me load on the radio. Sheldon.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, we as a people in this country here, we're very hypocrite. We're very hypocrite, and I have no apology to nobody. Sheldon, last election, campaigning, all the ministers beg, they explain to us as Grenadians what the NDC people stand for, what they go do. Grenadians know that Dr. Kit Mitchell and his team work really, really, really hard. That has hurt me when I call. Guys are right. I'm talking about these NDC people. Sheldon, I'm sorry, for what we're going through. I am suffering. And I don't want nobody to help me. Because I don't trust Grenadians. I can't meet you just because I don't trust y'all. All you hypocrite and bad mind. What Dick Mitchell and Andy and them doing to us. He good. Dr. Mitchell plead, he beg, Miss Clarice beg, Peter beg, this one beg, and tell us, NDC have a track record. We know of every road, oh God, where it was mud. Dr. Mitchell and the team put wall for us. They give us toilet. They give us board. When Tuesday and Thursday you go in the office, you could be NDC, you could be gay, right? And you go to that man in the office. You go to anyone, ministers office, and cry trouble helping all you. No, today all you can't go in none of them. What they doing to us, we deserve it. I didn't vote for them, so I don't have a problem. I did not vote, and I will never vote for Mr. Deacon Mitchell government. Never. I rather die. I am not an ungrateful woman. Not ungrateful. I don't want to be ungrateful to Peter David. If you hear me, Mr. David, thank you for all what you do for me. I don't want to thank Dr. Keith Mitchell. Thank you, sir, for what you do for me, Camille. Thank you to Mr. Oran Ben Hasford. Thank you to all the NNP supporters that stretch hand for me when I was down and I living. But you have some NNP supporters, they're very hypocrite. All you go.
Kiami, you mute your phone. Kiami, you've muted your phone. Kiami, you mute your phone. Unmute your phone. Oh boy. Kiami, you're still on, but your phone is muted. I think your face probably touched it or something. So it's muted the phone, so you need to unmute. Ah boy. I might have to end the call and make a call back. Kiami, give us a call back. You muted your phone. I think your face probably touched it. You know, sometimes you're using the phone and your face touch it and it muted. I think that's what happened with you. Caller, let me give Kiami a chance to call back. Somebody else was calling. I want to give Kiami a chance to call back. Sorry, I know you will hear me. I'm just trying to give Kiami a chance to call back. It's not that I won't take your call. I'm just trying to give Kiami a chance to call back because she did not finish what she was saying, and probably how she held the phone, it went on mute. So I'm giving her a little while so that she can call back and complete what she was saying. No, caller, give me. Boss, give me a couple minutes. Let Kiami call back, please, because unfortunately she didn't complete and her phone went on mute. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So we just want to give Kiami the chance to call back. Camille Teresa Scott, give me a call back. And the thing is, I know she loaded TV, so Kiami may be still there. Right. Nice. Good. Beautiful. Yeah, your phone went on mute there. Sorry about that. Well, it's on your end, really. So
Mr. Scott, I should tell you sorry.
Yeah, you go ahead. No problem.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is, we know they tell us they had a track record, and we live in Grenada. We know where we was living, didn't have road. We know where we living in our water. We know we get a few pieces of ply. We know we get a gravel sand. We know when we go to them, they could give us help. Poor people, the poor people, all you go and vote for them. You didn't even know Mr. Deacon Mitchell. We only hear about Deacon Mitchell. I used to see Mr. Deacon Mitchell when I go at the courthouse. He passing down quiet man, with his jacket in his hand, and he walk in the courthouse. He never hear he say one day, I don't know if he tell other people good morning. I never hear he say good morning. Okay? And we only hear about that man. You know what hurt me as a Grenadian? When Mr. Aliba Joseph lost his seat in St. David's, because I went to that meeting. I went to that meeting and the crowd, I said, Papa God, I go on my knees. I went on my knees and I begged God. And the amount of young people that was there, all you go and vote for these people. What we crying about? Take it as he said, take job. The commissioner said, take job. All you take it now. I don't want none of you to call me phone. I don't want none of you give me nothing because I don't trust y'all. I don't trust y'all. Are you very hypocrite and bad mind? Very hypocrite and bad mind. And that has hurt me. That has hurt me. I see NNP supporters. I see them. They're on top of the sky. And then all you balling, are you walking? Walking away. Watch the news and see what Andal and them trying to do now. They're trying to buy the youth and them now. They're trying to snatch them. They're trying to snatch them. Eh? Why we complaining now? We mustn't complain. And anytime anyone all you listening me coming from me though, I stoning all you. When the election call, if I'm alive, I and Papa God alone know who are gonna give me it. I don't want nobody coming from me though. I don't want nobody come and tell me nothing because I'm struggling, I'm suffering now. I ain't seeing nobody. I don't want none of you come. I know what is best for me. I live in Grenada. Nobody has to come and tell me what is going on here. I know what is going on. I feel it. Who feels it knows it. It's hard in Grenada. It is hard, Mr. Scott. It is hard. People had their money, some of them had their money, but the poor class people that is to depend on the road work, you don't have that. People suffering. Some pray to talk and some talking. Have a good night, Grenada. Good night, Patty. And good night, Mr. Watts. And good night, Miss Yolande Bain. Dr. Mitchell, good night, wherever you are. Take your rest.
Good night, Matthew.
Take your rest. Patty and Matthew, good night. And I want nobody call me phone because anybody call me phone on a dump down and they call me, it's bad order. All you know what time it is. Have a good night to Grenada.
Yeah, May. You have a good
yes,
one.
good night, Mr. Scott.
Right,
good night, sir. Take it easy.
Yes,
yeah, and you have a feedback in truth, you know.
Yeah,
you have a feedback.
I think I saw
You never miss the water till the well run dry. So none of us don't complain. Don't complain. Do not complain. The committee said, take job. I didn't know all you had before. Good night.
All right, my dear. Yeah, man. Take job. Take job. Many of us didn't understand what was taking place. Well, not many of us, but many people did not understand what was taking place there. And you see how the thing ended up. We have a caller on the line. Hello, good night.
Hello, good night.
Hey, how you doing, bro?
Not bad at all. I want to say good night to Miss Carmi for this loud speaking out tonight. You understand? So I hope everybody, whosoever, listening to Sheldon, I know we just get many views, we just get many people on board watching and listening, right? So Miss Carmi, I want to say thanks to you for this kind of loud speaking. You sound very arrogant, right? You sound
I would say no. Nah, let me.
All right, well, sorry.
Check,
all right,
check,
I will
check
say
your methodology. Not arrogant at all. She's speaking from mind.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, I used the wrong word, right?
Yes, man.
All right, so Miss Carmi, I want to say thanks for the speak out, right? This is Tito. I meet you on the bus stand once, and you get to know me. So I want to say thanks, right? Sheldon, I want to say good night to each and everyone. I want to say good night to my minister. And I really come tonight to talk on Miss Kate Lewis' behalf, right? Remember, Miss Kate is a lovely lady. Sheldon, you doesn't be in my constituency, right? Wheresoever Miss Kate did, even if Miss Kate in the road, she passing in a vehicle, like people running out the road to see this lady. You understand? Children with a big people, with a elderly people, and Miss Kate she's so nice, she's so wonderful. So I'm asking the rest of people like on the media, like who's sending out all this kind of bad comments and bad reports. You understand? Let me just be real. You understand? Some people doing good things and they're doing real thing, Let me like check out the politics thing. Yeah, I know the politics thing. When you try to bash somebody, like what people do it, you understand, you put up as a false thing, you understand? And the person who running in my constituency, I'm begging you, please, on the opposite side, which is the NDC side, asking you, please, my minister, she is not no confusion person. She's not no violent person. She is love we have and is love we share, right? So asking, please, right? So let me just come together, you understand, and make me skate, you understand, and love me skate. Me skate is a lovely person. You understand? And like I see Miss Kate passing my constituency when was one day in this week, Sheldon, Mr. Sheldon was like everybody just coming out, everybody and Miss Kate all them and she food, she all them up, she all them running. She all them Miss Kate don't have time for she and she child and she family, she husband. Miss Kate all them outside. So, asking everybody, please, let me just come together, and let me just support, you understand, whatsoever Miss Kate doing for we constituency, right? And I know my minister, matter whatsoever they write up, you understand, and they post up, that can hurt us because we know we're real. And I'm asking the NMP supporters, please, remember, you see, like Mr. Sheldon post a video. You understand? We scrolling through like Facebook, TikTok. We thumbs up. We put a thumbs up. You understand? What I find about we supporters, like Tito post something concerning NNP. Sheldon post something like when I watch like the likes and the. I find we should be like let we support the thing and Facebook too. We real people and we people. You understand? When I go through certain
what
things.
is the problem here? The problem here is simply this. Supporters of the New National Party need to understand that Facebook does not belong to the National Democratic Congress or the NDC or the government. It belongs to a man quite in America, but it is free to use to all of us. And in the same way, they could go under our videos and put up the nasty comments. And it says a lot, Tito. You ever realize on Dr. Mitchell's Facebook page, if he puts up a picture of himself playing domino, there are some NDC people that's so preoccupied with hate that they come under that and wishing that he die, wishing all kind of negative thing, cussing him. The man sit down playing domino, He ain't say Deacon Mitchell bad. He ain't say government bad. He ain't say the government wicked. He ain't say nothing. Just a picture of the man playing dominoes. And the amount of them coming under there and think they're doing something good with these negative statements. And the same goes for any NNP candidate, caretaker, MP. When they put up their stuff, these people run under there and try to fill it up with a certain negative comments and so on, and don't understand that they're just showing people the hatred that lies in their heart. We can't build Grenada on hatred. So we can't give Grenada to the people that have that amount of hatred in their heart. NNP supporters, when we see, we ain't going under their thing and cuss, we better than that. We not like them. We ain't afraid and nothing that we have to go on their thing and cuss. But when you see our people have things, same as Tito saying, go under it, like it. Go and make a positive comment. Put a positive comment under it. Yeah?
Yes. And Mr. Sheldon, I know the time kind of long, but just give me one. I have a.
Go ahead. Man.
All right, Mr. Sheldon. Well, many people kind of warn me about this individual. Mr. Sheldon, there is a NDC guy in Grenfield. Mm-hmm. Well, I didn't know definitely that was the person what involved with the work. Mr. Sheldon is a body workman in Paradise. Everybody know me, and I a very clean body workman. Sheldon, and I have to send you some videos, right? Mm-hmm. And Sheldon, I went. Well, Mr. Sheldon, he have an individual who call me and to give me a work to do a truck cab, right? Mm-hmm. I find out, and many people told me that, it don't make a sense going and work for this person. So, I didn't really know was this person. So, okay, then, all right. Well, the day the guy called me and I went and watch the job, I give the guy the come on watch, Lord. Island, they say, well, I feel so hot and down to today. I went in this police station in Grenville today. I charged that person to do that cab because that cab was very damaged. You understand? I charged that person a couple of money to do the cab, which the person told me, the owner of the cab told me that I the cheapest man, I give him the cheapest price. So them tell me that they go work. So when the individual called the NDC man come and he watch the job. She say, okay, why I don't work one time? Money is not problem. I say, what? You talking to up me, you feel when me like go ahead and work. You don't give me no down payment. You understand? It's just like go ahead and work. I say, boss man, I didn't sing long time, you know. You can't just come here and just tell me go ahead and work. I don't work like that. You understand? I work with protocols. You understand? Which we charge a money and I give you a time, which I give them people a time to pay the truck. But the truck here was outside. It wasn't under no shed. It was outside.
And
you understand?
We got to wrap in the next minute, so you had to speed up the story.
Okay, all right. So when I went back, couple of days I couldn't pay the truck because the truck outside and you know it's a kind of rainy kind of season. So Mr. Sheldon, I went and I paid the truck and everything was nice. You understand? When in the video I come and say, man, you just give me any kind of, I say I don't believe in this kind of anything. You understand? If I charge you $3 and I see the work cost $3,000, I will do it to my best ability for the 3,000 because I don't charge you $3 already, but I don't want the whole name at the road. You understand? So that person I end up getting, well, I had $1,200 inside. I had 2 workmen with me. Well, I keep on going the last week Thursday, I end up talking to the NNP, the NDC person in Grenfield. Look, I need money to pay those guys. And the man tell me, well, no problem. Anytime I want money, I will get money. Sheldon, from the time I paid the truck last week Thursday, that Mr. block me. You understand? All I was trying to call this man to get my money by going the person who gave me the job, the person, well, I had $1,200 inside, the person gave me $500 because they say, Tito, I find your real work, you know, so, and I find this man to this honest, you understand? I find this man should have paid you because look, the truck and everything.
Well, here's what, we giving them one week. Payday for some people is tomorrow, Monday, that kind of thing. We giving them until next week, Thursday. If they don't pay up in full, we call in the name on the program.
Thank you, sir.
Remember, we call in the name on the program. I know Wednesday night you just have your activity and so on. So Thursday night,
yes, boss,
we call in the name on the program if they don't pay. So I know they're listening to the program because I believe I know what you're talking about. So I hope that they know that we will be calling their name on the program on Thursday and asking them to make sure and come and pay. All right? Nice. So they have until Thursday.
Thank you, sir.
Thursday latest. They better pay before. Thursday latest.
Yeah, but Sheldon, just before you go, the guy, this same individual called me today, Sheldon, and he tell me to add also do a visa welding inside truck. Sheldon, I did the welding. Sheldon, don't you know when I go in the session today, the man blocked me right through. Just to don't pay me. When I went in the session today and the police called him, don't you know the guy called me today and tell me the welding I put inside the truck with the piece of pan, I had to come and remove that piece of welding before I get me money. Sheldon, I just tell this man what, you know what? Just hold the money. You understand? And I know definitely that money.
That'll pay.
Sheldon,
yeah. We're going to talk.
Yeah. All right. Thanks very much. And all the best, Sheldon, all right?
No problem. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much.
The individual know me very well. We call in your name next week Thursday if you don't pay the man by next week Thursday. We call in your name and shame you on air. Pay the man the money. All right? The man do the work. Pay the man. All right? Yes, folks, you can call 1473-440-7377. Pay Tito Imoni. All right, that is what we will say to that for now. Yeah? Because the man did the job, he completed the job, you tell him money, thing right, pay the man. Simple as that. 1473-440-7377. And I'll just go back to something that Tito was speaking about. Folks, we need to ensure that, you see, when it comes to Dr. Mitchell Facebook page and Honorable Emlyn Pierre Facebook page and all these pages, you see all these nameless, shameless people that has come under the page, and a lot of them coming from fake profile, and they're coming to say all the nastiest set of thing out there. If one of them come, it must have 20 of us with positive comments there. Yeah? If one of them come, and I mean, it's the kind of things that they go and they cussing doctor. They are so afraid. And let me tell you the real reason here. Understand this in context and understand the real reason here. These people are afraid. When I tell you afraid, they just wake up in the night sweating like, I mean, the sheet soak, the pillow soak, because they just had a dream of Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell. They're scared of him. And you know why they're scared of him? They're scared of his competency. They know that is the man that came from opposition back in 2013 and guided the New National Party to all 15 seats. And they know that is the man that gave them a back-to-back 15-0. And they are afraid. Believe me, they are afraid that right now they may be facing a similar situation again. Look at the level of corruption that we are seeing from these individuals in office. They cannot call it anything else but corruption. Yeah? It is corrupt. You can't be paying men to build house, and when time for the house and thing, no house in bill, but man, they taking out money out of account every month, and the house in bill. The Minister of Finance right to speak, because I believe what the Minister of Finance is doing is step by step. I believe he's taking himself out of it. That is why he put it squarely at the feet of the chairperson of the National Democratic Congress, Gloria Thomas, and the General Secretary of the NDC, Andy Williams. He put it at the chairperson and the General Secretary feet. He placed it right where it belongs. The Minister of Housing and Mr. Housing MIT. That the contracts were done in such a way that they were not followed up. All of these wrong things take place. All of these wrong things take place. But we need to remind, and I have it here. Yeah, I get it, man. Don't worry. I have it here. And this speaks to what we were hearing last night. Now, last night, we heard the Minister of Finance basically saying that these people get the money to build the houses, and they did not build the houses. And we have been hearing, he didn't give figures, but we have been hearing amounts of 45,000 and 30,000 plus. We've been hearing all those figures. Now remember, this administration, the NDC administration, changed the procurement law. Procurement meaning when government has to buy something, or government has to get a service. So if government has to buy, let's say government is going to buy beds for a home for the elderly, and they're going to buy 10. Somebody can't just walk in. Well, at least before, somebody could not just walk in to a store and say, give me 10 beds for the government of Grenada. That had to be put out there. You had to tender it out. So you had to announce that the government is looking for 10 beds. And then different companies would send in and say, we could provide the beds. We could provide the beds at this price, that price, that price. And then you choose the company that have the best quality for the best price. Not necessarily the lowest price. The lowest price might be so low quality that after 3-4 months, you're looking for beds again. So you look for the one that have the best price at the best quality. That's why the lowest bid does not always win. Yeah, and then if it is something that requires servicing, that the government would then be able to get that continued service. The people would come and service the equipment, be it an air conditioning unit, be it copier machines or whatever that you can get after sales service for the item. So that is why you have a procurement process. Now under the new National Party, once the price was under, I believe, $14,000, once it was under whatever it was that you were looking for, once the general cost of that was under $14,000, you didn't have to go into the procurement thing and say tender it out and so. You could have just found the product or the service or wherever it is, and you could just purchase or do what you have to do. This government raised that to 100,000. So all these little 40,000 contracts that talking about now, they are not covered fully by the Procurement Act. When I say fully, I know what I'm saying. They are not covered fully by the Procurement Act that was put in place by the new National Party and was amended by this NDC administration to change the amount. So in other words, if they want to give a man a contract for $40,000, they do not have to tender it out. If they have to give a man a contract for $80,000, $90,000, they do not have to tender it. They don't have to go through that process to say that we're going to tender and we're going to send it to the procurement board for them to look over and see if that person could really offer that service properly and if that person is going to give us value for money. They can't do that because they've changed the law so that you don't have to do that again. So now it falls on the particular ministry who is seeking that service or that goods. It falls on them now to ensure that they make sure the people who are going to be doing what needs to be done and is going to provide that service, that they can actually do what they say. So if somebody is going to provide plumbing services, you have to make sure that the person can actually do plumbing. You can't just grab somebody off the street and say, well, I know you used to work with that plumber 9 years ago. You should know a little thing about plumbing. Come, form a plumbing company, use a plumber now. You can't just grab somebody who do an electrical course, but still at the end of it have to get somebody who is qualified and certified to go and sign a form for them to get the electricity inspected. You can't just go and grab these people and say, go and wire this place. You can't do that. Because the people who you are hiring, they are supposed to be qualified and certified to provide what is being provided. What we've been hearing from Minister Gloria Thomas, what we've been hearing from Minister Dennis Cornwall, is that this has not been the case. We've also been seeing a breach of the Public Finance Management Act. As I told you all last night, the Public Finance Management Act guides how government spends money, how government takes in money. It guides all of that. Once it comes to money, public finance, public money, in other words, the people's money that the government holding on, once it comes to that, all of that is managed by the Public Finance Management Act or the Public Finance Management Law. Yeah? And in 2015, SR, that's statutory regulations, in 2015, number 33, in section 33, says the following, and it speaks to certification of payment for construction goods or services and other purposes. No payment shall be made out of the consolidated fund, a deposit or a special fund, unless in addition to a payment instruction and any other certification required under these regulations, an accountable officer certifies. A, in case of a payment for construction, as in constructing those houses in the Build Back Better, the supply of goods or the rendering of services that the procurement complies with the Public Procurement and Disposal of Public Property Act 2014 and every regulation therein. So you have the Public Procurement Act. But more importantly, here we have Section B and Section C of 33, right? And what that says is, what you have to ensure is that the construction has been done. In other words, you're not supposed to pay the people until, and let's just highlight it here, that construction has been done. I'm trying to highlight it, but for some reason it's not working. Yeah, I'm going touch screen today. That the construction has been done, not that the construction could be done or might be done, that the construction has been done, the goods supplied, or the services rendered, as the case may be, and that the price charged is in according to the contract, or if not specified by the contract, is reasonable. In other words, when you give a man a contract to build a Build Back Better house, the construction has to be done, has to, not might be done, not could be done, not may be done. It says here, the construction has to be done. And when the construction is done, then that person is paid, not before. So that the construction, let me highlight it here, just in case they know, has been done. The goods supplied or the services rendered, so that the house built, you could pay the people now. That the goods supplied, the building materials have been given, like the people in Carriacou who still waiting on the payment today, the 26th day of June, nearly 3 weeks after the Prime Minister says that the check's ready. They still ain't get it. Them check taken out. I know if them check and them paddling their way up to Carriacou, but they can't reach. So that the construction has been done, the goods supplied, or the services rendered, as the case may be, and that the price charged is according to the contract. In other words, there must be a contract that says, hey, you are contracted by the government of Grenada to build this house at the cost of $40,000, at the cost of $30,000, whatever it is. You have been contracted by the government of Grenada to do that. You sign, they sign, and you have your specific time where you need to do and criteria that you need to cover. Yeah? Also, C says, where pursuant to the contract, because you should have a contract, a payment is to be made before the completion of the contract, the delivery of the goods or the rendering of the services, as the case may be, that the payment is in accordance with the contract. So there is no situation here where the government of Grenada should be making any payments, full payments, to these individuals without ensuring that the job is done. There's none. And again, this is, let me just, I like to make sure you all know. I ain't pulling no thing over your eye. This is the, let's go up here, the public finance management, the regulations, yeah? And you're seeing all the different parts here, the roles of the permanent secretary. So permanent secretary in the Ministry of Finance, you have a responsibility in relation to this too, that you ought to carry out. And when you hear the minister come and talking about audit department and all kind of thing, no. Yeah? When the minister come and he's speaking about audit department and so on, at the end of that audit, it would be very interesting to see all of the payments that were made, because when they're doing that construction, the people who are doing the construction are supposed to keep the following: all the receipts for all the materials and so on that were bought, the payments made to the people who work along with them, their names, they have to pay the NIS and all them things, so all of that information is supposed to be there. I'm speaking to you contractors who are doing work for the government of Grenada and they build back better or collect money and ain't do work. As the minister says, some who had the money there and taking out at 200, 200, 200. So you all are supposed to make sure that all of that information financially is there, so that when the time comes and questions are asked, and you all have to answer to those questions, that you have a problem, because some of you look like all you go end up with a problem. Yeah, some of all you look like all you ending up with a problem. So we want to make sure that you all know what is going on, because like some of you in problem. Nice. Just remember what the minister said. Let's go back to what the minister said and see if it falls in line with the law.
And in recent time, I've done some interviews on how many houses that we have actually put out in the last year since burial. Yeah. And I must say that things have gone apace. A number of persons would have gotten a new house. In some cases, the house repairs and so on. There are one or two houses that were started and they are yet to be completed. Some of them have issues, I would tell you, because I've heard one or two cases yesterday when I was in the field that the contractor started the house and he disappeared.
Why is that happening, sir?
I don't really know, but I mean, I believe that the persons who issuing the contracts to those contractors need to basically make sure that they vet these people properly and so on. I've heard stories on the road, which I mean, I don't even want to talk about it here right now. Yeah. Where a guy got money and so on, he put it in an account and so on, and every now and again he goes and takes $200 from it and so on. And it doesn't appear on the person's side to be able to continue the project. So yes, we have one or two houses.
So we have a management problem there to push that.
Yes, there might be that case there. But I want to put out a warning out to the persons who have collected government monies and did not do what they should do with it and so on, or use it for other purposes and so on. We would have the audit department audit those things, and would have the necessary step taken to make sure that you can account or you account for the monies that you were given. I know there are problems where, for example, somebody might tell you, well, this is the land and so on, and the ministry took it as though that's a gospel, and they went and started building that house, and then realized that there was somebody coming and challenge the building on my land. Again, we have to be more structured, put things in place to make sure that we can verify ownership of property before we get into building those things. So yes, there might be some learning situation in the past that we have to take into consideration, where people build on people land that was not authorized. And so we, going forward, have to make sure that all of these things are corrected. It may not be just a matter of mismanagement. It may be a matter of people not being upfront with the information they gave the ministry.
But isn't there an individual within the constituency that is responsible for offering the contracts to the different, maybe it's someone who's going to be building a house and so forth?
Right.
So isn't someone responsible?
The housing that were built in recent times in the ministries and so on were built under the Ministry of Housing.
Yeah.
That's Social Development and Community Development as well. We had MIT involved in some of the Build Back Better homes and so on, and the special projects and so on. So yes, they would have had people on board to basically review whatever comes in terms of evaluation of the project itself, and they would have basically signed a contract with the particular individual and so on. But again, the monitoring and the follow-up and everything, I think we probably would say that there is need for more vigilance in that area and so on, because a man just cannot start a project and disappear in thin air.
And you say there are multiple situations where that has been occurring?
Well, we have one or two. I'm not saying that we do not have, because I mean, I have heard some cases where, even in my constituency, there are about 4 houses in an area that is still ongoing and not completed. So I don't know whether or not it was because of that particular reason, or because a guy has stretched himself so much that he cannot continue doing what he says he has to. Because there are people, for example, who may have a normal contract building somebody's house and so on. They take our house and so on, and yet they cannot service the boat property in an efficient manner and so on. And so we have to say, well, okay, he evaluated himself.
Yes.
But it's not that. He has not received the resources to build the house. He just has not managed the resources as he should. You cannot be paying a man, for example, to a job. You can do a job, but if you choose to basically do it by daily work and so on, daily paid work and so on, you might be running into difficulties. So it's again a problem, mismanagement of your monies or resources. I had a friend who told me that he had a guy who wanted to basically get a septic tank done. He said, okay, I'm going to give you a job to dig that septic tank for me and so on. The guy said, no, you don't want that job. You want a daily paid.
Daily paid.
So whereas, for example, he might have been saying, I'm going to give you $1,200 to do that job for me. You end up doing the job in 1-2 days and so on. So you get, for example, $400 rather than the $1,200. Again, it shows that the person doesn't understand the things.
So therefore, some folks like to receive their monies on a daily basis.
Some people.
So yes, folks, you heard the minister there very clearly. And you heard what he said goes against the Public Finance Management Act. And again, if they need help with a reminder, let's find it again here. Let's just pull it back up for them. Yeah, it is SR&O number 33 of 2015. Let's go to the top. The year 2015, the Public Finance Management Regulations. Yeah, SRO number 33. And they're going into, let's just get it here. Division 4, and that deals with certification of payment for construction goods or services and other purposes, right? And in section 33, and we're going to go down here, I'll go fast, boy. We're going to go down here into section 33, and again, I'm going to read the relevant parts, and the most relevant parts are really here, B and C, where it says that construction has been done. That the construction has been done. No, I want to forward it yet. That construction has been done. The goods supplied. So you can't come and be telling me now that you pay people and they go on with the money, because according to the law, before you pay them, you have to ensure, you, meaning the government of Grenada, you, meaning either the Ministry of Finance, the Housing Ministry, or MIT, and we all know that when the supplemental bill was passed last year, how much $1 million, was it 14 million or so? For 200 houses or whatever, we know that that money was placed in the hands of Andy Williams and the Ministry of Mobilization, Implementation, and Transformation. That is the ministry that was placed in. There's a permanent secretary who happens to be a family member, but a permanent secretary in that ministry who has a responsibility to ensure that the construction was done before any authorization in regards to payments were done. But we hear all kind of weird thing happening in that ministry. So they have to ensure that the construction has been done, the goods supplied or the services rendered. So you have to make sure you can't go and play a guy to be a plumber and you pay the guy $8,000, $9,000, $10,000, $15,000 to do a plumbing job, and the job has not been done. According to the law, you have to make sure the job is done before you authorize payment to these people. And you have to also ensure that the price charged is according to the contract, so you have to have a contract. But we hear enough cases where people who ain't even apply, being told their check's ready for you, go and collect, use contractor now. We have heard those cases. But you have to ensure that there's a contract, that the contract is adhered to. So if the contract says $20,000, $40,000, $50,000, it is the responsibility of MIT to ensure that when the invoice comes in, that invoice says that. But I wonder if invoices even go in. All kind of weird things taking place in that MIT, you know, because it breaches this law. We know this government is accustomed to breaching the law and just not paying attention to what is in law. This is not the first part of the Public Finance Management Act. Even when they say they're doing susu and picking up money inside place and saying that is towards a government project, that breached the Public Finance Management Act. Because the accountant general have to be involved in that. You have to have an account assigned for that money, all kind of thing. They was just picking up money and say, we're picking it up for the susu. And we raise how much and how much. All of that was against the Public Finance Management Act. And why is it that this is one of the acts that they're looking to breach? This is the act that controls the money. This is the act that controls it. And that's why I've said for tonight's program that NDC has that boogeyman of corruption. You ain't hearing Joan Purser. I don't know if she well. Chanty Joan, I hope you're okay. But you ain't hearing Joan Purser. You're seeing them hugging up people like Andy and so on who accuse of all kind of thing. You're hearing about bribe for 115,000. You're hearing all kind of thing in relation to them. Nazim Burke, who used to say he's a paragon of virtue and all this kind of thing. You see all of them jamming up Andy and jamming up all these individuals who are being, you're hearing basically the Minister of Finance in saying that there might be corruption. You know. He has confirmed that there is corruption in the burial relief program, the same program that ends in basically a month and a few days. He ain't asking, he ain't alluding to, the man tell you straight, it have corruption taking place inside there. No if, what, or but about it. He tell you straight, there is corruption in that program. He told you. You heard the minister with responsibility for housing telling you that the houses built were substandard. You heard her telling you that. She admitted to the nation that the houses built under that program are substandard. Let's hear.
That came out clearly after the burial response.
Yeah.
We were looking for contractors to do small houses, and we were not getting contractors.
Yeah, exactly.
So then we hire people, they see they could bill, and when you see what they bill, it's a disaster, next disaster. You know, so we really need to get our people, especially our young men, upgraded with skills.
Yes.
Yeah. Because some of them, they've been wrong.
So
then we hire people, they see they could bill, and when you see what they bill, it's a disaster, next disaster. So then we hire people, they see they could bill, and when you see what they bill, it's a disaster, next disaster. So then we hire people, they see they could bill, and when you see what they bill, it's a disaster.
And folks, it means that under the Public Finance Management Act, they are not supposed to pay these people, you know. They are supposed to make sure that whatever is done properly. They're not supposed to pay these people. You ain't here saying there that, well, and we bring the people back to go and fix the thing. Yeah? You ain't hear them saying anything like that, that we went and we checked the people and we say, hey, Ollie didn't do that roof good, Ollie had to fix back the roof. We ain't hear that from her, we ain't hear that from the Minister of Housing. Now that I say it, you go see one or two of them run and say it now. But I'm sure that if you do an audit, you go realize that it has not been done. I'm sure on that. Where's the Joan Purser? Where's the Tillman Thomas? Where are these people? Where are all the people who call themselves the original creators of the National Democratic Congress? The people who always speak about accountability and transparency. And you know, they talk about it, but actions speak louder than words. The only government who has been open and transparent has been the new National Party administration. It is the new National Party administration that put the Integrity in Public Life Act in place and ensured that there was an active integrity commission, so that if accusations like are being made now, and if you had facts as people have now in relation to all these things being said, were brought to the Integrity Commission, that you had an active commission that these things could have been brought to. The NNP made sure. The NDC right now, up to now, we hear about no appointment and no new Integrity Commission up to today. Since May, the Integrity Commission expired, and we are hearing why? They're afraid of the things they would have to investigate. Corruption abounds in this administration. It's like every time you see one of them, you're seeing the word corruption floating over their head. And you and I hearing about the little things that taking place in some of the villages. We hearing of some of the projects. Today I was hearing about the project in Simone, and that the contractor, from what I was told, has to be using their own money to pay workers and all kind of thing, because government just ain't coming up with the money to pay. That is what I heard. I'm repeating what I hear. If it ain't so, let the contractor come out and say so. Let him say government pay. But just remember the date when you say that, and when you get paid, the accounts will be reviewed. So you know if you was talking the truth or you was lying. And that is information that could be accessed. There's nothing wrong with that. But we're hearing these situations. You're hearing these situations in Carriacou. You're hearing these situations in St. Patrick, in River Sally, all over. You're hearing these situations of people whose houses simply needed a roof, were given a brand new house. The house that needed the roof is still standing there, and repairs have started on that to fix back a roof and so on. So these people end up with two houses when you have other people there with none. When not a single house has been completed in the island of Petit Martinique as of today. If they completed today, they finish this evening. Up to now, not a single house completed and or handed over on the sister island of Petit Martinique. It's like Petit Martinique and don't count again. Before when they start, they used to say Petit Martinique, Carriacou, and Grenada. All of a sudden now, they ain't even mentioning Petit Martinique, they're just saying Grenada. Petit Martinicans, all you realize these people don't like all you and they don't care about all you. You all realize that? Yeah? You all understand it. These people don't like you all. They never have, and now it is clearly apparent that they do not. When you have even the supporters of the NDC, well, former supporters, it seems now, of the NDC in Petit Martinique speaking out against them and saying, look, this is how my island is being treated. It is unfair. I saw a post from one person because they keep saying that when it comes to what is taking place in Carriacou, that Carriacou is doing much better than the people in the other islands, the other Grenadine islands. I saw a person post here, I'm a Grenadian who lives on Union Island. These are the benefits I received from the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines as burial relief to date. $600 per month from October 2024 up to the present, up to June 2025. Repair of roof, weekly delivery of water, daily meal while my roof was under construction, free windows and doors, compensation for the destruction of my Seamoss farm, and I'm on the waiting list for stove, refrigerator, and mattress. Big up to the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. All you hear them kind of thing taking place in Carriacou and Petit Martinique, and St. Vincent had any CRIF money? St. Vincent didn't even have CRIF money. They had ganja money, but they didn't have any CRIF money. And what, again, let me read it out for you. This is a Grenadian speaking here. They say, I'm a Grenadian who lives on Union Island. These are the benefits I received from the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines as burial relief to date. $600 per month from October 2024 to June 2025. Repair of their roof, weekly deliveries of water, daily meal while their roof was under construction, free windows and doors, compensation for the destruction of their Seamoss farm, and they wait on the waiting list to get a stove, a refrigerator, and mattresses. They say big up to the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And we have people running around, Carriacou people get nice, Carriacou. Them didn't have no CRIF money, you know. Ralph Gonzalez didn't have no CRIF money. And look what he was able to do. Look what he has been able to do. Carriacou people, all you get anything close to that? Let me ask the question, and I find Carriacou people like they're afraid to call. Carriacou people, all you get anything close to that? Let us know. All you get $600 a month? All you get them kind of payments and thing? All you get stove and fridge and mattress? All you get compensation for business? Some people say the first time they hear that it have money there for small business in GDB is when it came across this program last night. They said that the first time they know it has some of them things available. Yeah? And with all of that, remember, the burial relief is due to end. The burial relief is about to end. Yeah?
Heard from the Minister of Housing, that's Gloria Thomas, that's Honorable Gloria Thomas, that the burial relief fund will come to a close until the end of July. That's someone heard her mention that. I'm just asking, what will happen to many folks who still are living in tents, especially in Carriacou and Petit Martinique? How will they be catered for if that program comes to an end at the end of July? Okay, so let me say that the Minister's statement is quite correct. Yeah. And that we have received, as we said before, 118 million EC dollars thereabout. There are lots of persons who are there still saying that, where the money gone? Let me tell you where the money gone. We have basically to date paid out in incentive to farmers and fisher folks, 34 million plus. Yes. There are one or two persons out there who claim that they did not receive monies from that program. Again, we still have to continue looking at those who still say they have not received and so on. But that $34 million already is gone out of that 118. Yes. There was a 25 million we put at the Grenada Development Bank to assist persons who have had their business destroyed and so on. They can go and get grant loan at 1% interest rate in there. We have pumped a lot of money into the housing, both in Grenada and Carriacou and so on. Yeah. I think in St. Patrick alone there was some 15 million. Carriacou might have received another similar amount. So when you look at the monies that I'm telling you about, it adds up. It adds up. And in fact, I could tell you we spend more than the CRIF monies to date on reconstructing Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. Yeah. So there is no need to be arguing now that we can provide you the figures as to where exactly they are. Yeah. And there is no hanky-panky about it and so on. But for those who still believe that lot of money that we got is still available out there, it's not. I was asking the question still, what will happen to those individuals who still haven't been... Government continue to assist. Government continue to assist
people with housing where needs be. But I've said in other programs, there are persons who might be able to at least put some skin in the game to help change the circumstances. Yeah. Because I don't think any government could be able to at least provide a free house for everybody in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petimatic. That's just not sustainable and so on. And so we are going to continue our housing program, our WASH program and so on, because in the budget we provided for that. But it has nothing to do with the CRIF monies. It has nothing to do with other resources that we would have received from outside there, because those money have been spent. Let's take, for example, the very first week when Hurricane Beryl hit us. We had to purchase 16 vehicles, 2 trucks, pickups and so on, just to basically help move personnel and debris and so on Carriacou. And these cost us well over $3 million easily. So, yes, we got some grants and funding and so on. But again, those things went out the way easily because there were things to do.
All right. So basically, you're saying now, after that particular relief program comes to an end at the end of July, folks who will be needing assistance, they may have to fund some of the bill for themselves.
Well, the housing program under government had never stopped, right, before Beryl and after Beryl. But it would not be in the same magnitude that it is for the last year. Okay. Because as I said, we spent serious cash on housing in the last period. Take, for example, in St. Patrick East. I was on a program the other day trying to explain to people that we have done a lot of houses in this spot, and there are houses still that are ongoing, that they are not finished as yet. We have to continue making them good, because we cannot start a house and leave it unfinished for the persons who have had a total loss. We have to continue building it. But again, from time to time you would have pressures on government funding and so on, because again, monies don't just drop from trees. We have to go out there and tax the population to get the monies to do what we have to do. Yeah. And there are a lot of people who still believe that they should not be paying tax. I mean, there's no doubt about it.
Including all you, because that's why they went and they put on the 2,000 after election. They went and put on the 2,000 as traveling allowance onto your salary so that they wouldn't have to pay tax. So they making accusation, but when they making accusation, all you're guilty, yeah? Nice. 1473-440-7377. That is the number for you to call and get on the inside. And folks, while we're talking about these things now, we must try not to forget, there are many other issues that have come up, and basically because, especially in this month of June, I don't know what it is with June, this month is like every week you start on one thing and you jump on the next thing, and there's a next thing come up and a next thing come up and a next thing come up. And we have to take the time and return to some things there, because even today I saw this article out in relation to a $1 billion scam in Nigeria, and guess who is involved in it? Yeah? The same lady who is now a CBI citizen of Grenada. I do not know that her citizenship has been revoked. Anybody know if her citizenship has been revoked? The one that was winding down with the Prime Minister on Calivini Island. Yes, that lady. Yeah? So now she's involved, according to what they are saying, in Nigeria, in a $1 billion scam. Ocean Gate Energy Limited is her company. Remember, that's the same company you were hearing that was supposed to be involved in Grenada's oil and gas. That is the same company, you know, that was supposed to become involved in Grenada's oil and gas. Yeah? And what they're saying here, the case is not going away anytime soon. They're expecting to charge Mr. Lee, that is a person from a Chinese company, and Ocean Gate Energy to court very soon. So that is Miss Aisha that they're seeking to bring to court. Yeah, the Nigerian people deserve to know what happened to that 1 billion naira. You know, if a couple 100,000 or a couple million end up with a particular governing party in the Caribbean region, I don't know, you never know, them things could have happened. Yeah, because she was winding down with a certain prime minister. It was good on low. And hug up and thing, you understand? So while we're dealing with these new things, there are other things that tie this NDC administration to corruption, even in other countries. Remember, We still have the case of Mr. Colin Bishop. Somebody don't forget he already? No. That is where they're hoping. They're hoping that we forget these things. Remember, there is still the situation with Mr. Colin Bishop, where Mr. Colin Bishop has been, right now, he's been suspended. The process and what has been done there has been done wrong, but he has been suspended out of Grenada's CBI program for the time being. But we know Heng Seng was suspended from the program and they were brought back in. But now we're hearing that Mr. Colin Bishop, he's been suspended, and you're hearing that he collected money for people, and he said that he had influence with the Prime Minister, and you saw the pictures of him and the Prime Minister and all of that. All of that happened this month, you know, but so much things have happened this month that it seems as though we forget some of these things. Oh, no, Sheldon, I ain't forget though. I ain't forget. And I will be reminding the Grenadian people. Yeah? Because people talk about Andy Williams and the 115,000 and all this thing. Ask him to deny that he now owes the government of Grenada close to $3 million in taxes. Yeah? The same Andy Williams. Let him answer. You hear the Minister of Finance say some people don't like to pay taxes. Some of them in your cabinet sitting right next to you. Some of them sitting, well, I don't know if all it does are executive meeting or all it does have all your executive in cabinet and thing. But some of them sitting right next to you. We're talking about some of them do like to pay taxes. Some of all you do like to pay taxes. Because the last time I know it was over 2 million. It should be getting close with interest. It should be getting close to 3 million. That's in relation to stamp tax. There was stamp tax and another tax. I'm trying to remember the second one. That he owed in relation to the business that he had before, that he had not paid from since down in 2017, all them time coming right up. And even though he was part of a government that gave a tax break, there was no attempt to pay it off, to get a payment plan, nothing like that. Nothing like that. Yeah, the same Andy Williams. Yeah? Could put up how much video you want that transforming from woman to man, all kind of thing. We know some all that is all you like. Transform from woman to man, man to woman. We know. That's some all your intention in life. You understand? Only just making sure you have enough money to do the proper surgery. We understand that. But that's all your business, not mine. My business is the fact that these individuals sitting in government and still owe millions in taxes. So when the Minister of Finance talk, he trying to talk for his own people sit down in his own cabinet with him. Yeah? Don't get it twisted. There's a lot that is happening with these individuals. When it comes to the GDB and Mr. Andy Williams again, and the fact that what he was using as a security in the GDB is what was sold while it was security in the GDB. Yeah? Has the GDB been paid off? I know. Somebody tell me. I know. Somebody drop an envelope. Has the GDB been paid off? We don't know. But the people like Tillman Thomas, if it is my name that call, or if some accusation is made against somebody who has done everything for this country, like Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, or the Honorable Emlyn Pierre, or Dr. Clarice Modest, or any of the present or former MPs of the new National Party, Mr. Tillman Thomas does leave St. Patrick and find himself in GBN studio to go and run him out on the people. But all them crook sit down in his own organization, he have nothing to say about. Not a word does this individual have to say. So he cannot come to the Grenadian people at any time in the future and talk about accountability and transparency and good governance. He cannot. He does not have the moral ability to speak to anybody in relation to those issues unless he corrects it in his own house, his own organization that he was one of the founding members of. Or is it that he has no say, that these people just call his name because they believe they should call his name, but that they don't care about Uncle Tilly, they don't care what he say? Them don't like him. You heard the Prime Minister already about going after their own people. Sometimes they were made to go over behind their own people before, and that sort of thing. We heard the Prime Minister making those statements. Because remember, it was Tillman Thomas who fired a minister for going on a trip. He fired a government minister because the government minister go on a trip and they were not properly briefed. The cabinet and himself were not properly briefed in relation to the trip. At least that's the accusation, that that minister went on a trip and did not brief them. That minister was fired, sidelined. You had the former Attorney General who wrote a letter in the case of a relative who had legal issues in another territory, and the then Attorney General is accused of writing a letter using the Attorney General's letterhead to ask for clemency in relation to that relative. And that Attorney General was fired by Tillman Thomas. You have another situation with Mr. Kenrick Fullerton, and they paraded him in front of the media with handcuffs on him. That was the NDC at Tillman Thomas. But all when they was doing that, they never enforced the Integrity in Public Life Act that was sitting there when they came into office just to enact and put together the Integrity Commission. They never enacted the Anti-Corruption Act that was sitting there only to implement. The law was passed already. It was simply just to get the Governor General's assent on it and put the different mechanisms in place so that it could run. They did no such thing. It took the new National Party to come back inside and put those things in place and put those bodies in place. The people who talk about accountability and transparency, words only, about this NDC government being the most transparent government ever. Listen, somebody had to have brain damage, serious brain damage. Their cerebral cortex must have been seriously infused with some other sort of matter but brain matter, for them to come and tell people that this NDC government is the most transparent government. Something had to be wrong mentally with that person, or somebody give them a spirit. They have to be spiritually gone. Because there's no way in hell anybody could tell me that this NDC government is the most transparent government. The NNP government on a weekly basis had a post-cabinet press briefing where government ministers came out and told you about the results of the different discussions in cabinet. This government say on a need-to-know basis. That is transparent. This government, before getting into office, and the same Tillman Thomas was on the stage in St. John speaking about that Freedom of Information Act. This government came in and they make all public servants, statutory bodies sign non-disclosure agreements. In other words, you sign an NDA. If you see something wrong, you hear something wrong, you know something wrong, you had to shut up. Because if you go out and leak that information so that investigations can take place, the government can take action legally against you. They went and they make the civil servants sign that, not the NNP administration, the NDC administration make them sign that. That is transparency for you, that is good governance. Recently they passed out another document about the Integrity Commission and integrity and all this sort of thing to civil servants just within the last week. Just send out more thing to them again. That is integrity, that is transparency, that is good governance. These individuals refuse to even answer questions in Parliament. I saw Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell at the last Parliament sitting, having to ask, well, what is really going on here? He's been submitting questions from since 2022 in 2025. And he has questions from 2022 that remain unanswered. How much has been spent in relation to the 50th anniversary of independence? Up to now, Grenadians have no idea. A year plus has passed. A year and some 5 months have gone since that. And Grenadians still have no idea how much money in total was spent and where the money was spent. We could tell you it has some old iron rusting on the carriage and some junction boxes and so that going off on the carriage, and some areas where you saw that it had some old iron and thing was there. And we know that cost hundreds of thousands, if not up to $1 million. But they are no longer there in some instances, and those that are there just taking seawater and rusting. But have we been told by the government of Grenada how much that cost to do that? No. How much did the drone display for last year and even for this year? How much did it cost? No idea. The questions have been posed in Parliament. You're still waiting for the results, the answers in relation to these things. The question was posed by Dr. the Right Honorable Mitchell in Parliament in relation to travel and to get a breakdown of travel between a specific period of time of different government ministries, so not just the minister, but the permanent secretaries and technical officers, etc., who travel, who paid for that travel, and what they were going to. The benefit, so you could basically understand the benefit to Grenada. This government consistently refuses to provide that information. That's easy information to provide. They're given the impression you have to go inside some book and look for that. No, that is information you can easily give. Does that sound as a group of transparent people to you? As people that are letting you know everything? When press conferences are on a need-to-know basis? Where's the weekly press conference the NDC talking about? There's week 3 of none of the weekly press conference. That's why I say it's W-E-A-K-L-Y. It week, not weekly. It week. One press conference you have, and Jenny make all afraid to have more. She should come in all you have. Most all you could do is tell her to enter. And the more Africans you go down, is the more Africans will come. So go ahead. But that's the weekly press conference for you. And while all of these things are happening, we're forgetting other things. We're still forgetting that when it comes to that facility that is being built where the flamboyant was, understand this. There is a situation where there are over 200 investors that need to be paid. They may have been paid. They may be in the process of being paid, but they have to be paid by the government of Grenada because the government decide they go in and take back the property and do what they do. So right now, we are in the situation that we don't know because the figures we were hearing were over 56 million that these different investors had invested into that program. If you're returning the money, that means you have to return $56 million, US and not EC, to these people. This government dancing around, and they will never tell you if that money has been paid, if they're in the process of paying, how many out of the 214, 215 somewhere there people, how many of them have got in touch with the government of Grenada during the time frame that the government asked them to get in contact and given them. Yeah? How much of them have got in contact with the government of Grenada so that they could receive their payments? No, they want us asking those kind of questions. That's why they go onto their shows and they go on the programs and they say, don't listen to them NNP, because they want to be able to lie to you without any interference. They want to be able to tell untruths to you and control your brain, because they will provide no facts in relation to what they're saying. You see, some of them now, they're afraid to talk about shrimp farm because we took the time and we explained shrimp farm to you. You see, some of them now, they're afraid to talk about chicken farm. All of a sudden, they drop chicken farm. They drop shrimp farm. They're afraid to talk about pension. You know why? Because we explained it to you, and I was planning to do it tomorrow in relation to pension. And let me see if you all have been, as I told you all, we need some of you to donate, whether it's $5, whether it's $10, because it does cost me if I have to do the Friday programs are different from the programs during the week. So I usually have to make different provisions on a Friday if I'm doing the program. Yes, so if we want the program tomorrow, one person donated yesterday. We need 1 or 2 of you at least to donate today, and we can see how we utilize our own funds to cover the rest for tomorrow. But other than that, we're not doing any program Friday night. If I don't see at least 2 or 3 people jump in with at least a $5 or whatever, we're not doing the program tomorrow night. All right? Yes, because as I tell you, that one had to come out of my own pocket to do the Friday and or the Sunday program. And I'll tell you something, I did the Sunday program, and from what I've seen there, the most views that we've gotten for our program in the last 2 months was the Sunday program. Yeah? So it shows that there is interest in the Sunday program, but again, we can't do the programs and them just like that. As I said, I definitely will not be able to do the Sunday program every Sunday. So far, my schedule for that period of time, this Sunday is free, so I may be able to do it, but again, we need 1 or 2 people to come in, and whether it's 5, whether it's 10, however you donate towards it, and we would see how we could make up the rest to do the program on Friday and possibly on Saturday. That means I'll only leave him a Saturday, and Saturday is the only day. And don't ask for Saturday because that ain't happening. All right? But we will try to see how we can do, definitely we'll try to see how we can do both the Friday and the Sunday, but that's dependent on you all. All right? And folks, the phone lines are still open, 1473-440-7377. That's 1473-440-7377. That's the number for you to get onto the inside of tonight's program. And I see JJ come, you want that thing, boy, watch. Hold on, JJ. Hold on, JJ. Let me sort out JJ here. Yeah. Yes, they're right. Yes, let me sort out JJ. All right. Let Daddy just get that there. Yes, indeed. Sometimes that's what you just had to do. In and between, you had to do what you had to do. Yes, folks. So, we are trying to do the Friday. We are trying to do the Sunday. But again, as I said, there are different things involved in relation to that. All right, 1473-440-7377. That is the number to call, but you must call us on WhatsApp. You cannot call us directly as yet, but you can call us on the WhatsApp. Folks, there's another issue I want to speak about before the program is over tonight. I'm going to leave the supervisor of election and what is taking place there. I'll leave that for if we have the program tomorrow night. I'm going to focus heavily on that. And some things that are being said there, some people that are trying to mislead people, and so I'll deal with that if we do have the program tomorrow night or on Sunday. Now, folks, we have an issue here. A few days ago, I was called, not called because the message came in on my device about a situation at the General Hospital where the power went and the generator did not kick in. And it was night time, that the power went at the generator. So in other words, you know what happened there? People had to start to pull their phone and shine light to move about and so on. And if somebody was on any machine, life-saving machine, that went off because the generator did not kick in. Now, my investigations have shown that nothing is wrong with the generator at the General Hospital. Let me repeat. We like to give our information straight. Nothing is wrong with the generator at the General Hospital, but there is a device that is attached to the generator, a switch, that what that switch does is that switch would detect that, hey, electricity has gone and turn the generator on. That switch has been reported as not working properly nearly a year now. They've been telling them you need to buy a new switch. The electrician, from what I have been hearing, has been saying to them, you all need to buy a new switch for the generator so that when power goes, the generator kicks on automatically. You can't, because from what I am hearing, and it's a very unfortunate situation, there was a cesarean section taking place at that point in time and the child was lost. Because one of the pieces of equipment that was needed, I won't go into the gory details, but I got it full. I won't go into the details on air here. But one of the devices that was needed, so imagine, they're doing a C-section on the lady to remove the child, and the electricity go. The generator in kick on. So who inside, they basically had to grab a phone and try to put on the light on the phone and that kind of thing to see what's going on inside there, because the generator did not kick on simply because of a switch that over a year now, the government that fined 2 million plus to give to people to say about hospital management. Over a year now, they've been told that that switch is not working. And if what I'm hearing is correct, that has now cost the life of a newborn. Yeah? Because a cesarean was taking place at the point in time that the power went down. And this is scary. To any of us, it is scary. Because none of us know the time nor the hour when we may end up in a situation at the general hospital. None of us know that. We do not know. And as such, we want to make sure, and this is not just about politics and about management and so, this is about life. We want to ensure that if we are going to the general hospital, that when we do go there, that everything working proper, that we don't have to worry in a situation like that. So again, what I've been hearing is that the generator is fine. Nothing wrong with the generator. Hospital generator, okay. But that the switch, like a computer then, so it realizes there's no power coming in, and within a second or two, it turns on the power on the generator. Yeah, it takes a couple seconds to recognize, okay, no power coming from the mains, turn on the generator. I've heard enough to know that Grenada is seeking now, while they're searching for the switch, because for the last year they haven't done the switch, that they're seeking now to try and put in a switch on it instead of that computer that would say, okay, power is gone, turn on the generator. That there would be a manual switch on it that somebody could just go and press and turn the generator on. The generator doesn't have that. They don't have the manual switch that somebody could just go and press and turn the generator on. It doesn't have that. So understand those situations. Understand situations like this letter that was sent out. Yeah? The memorandum from the medical director to all doctors, accident emergency, chief radiographer, etc., etc., etc. Kindly be informed that the cardiology clinic will be temporarily placed on hold. Now, people with heart problems, so the clinic for them placed on hold. As of the 16th of June 2025, patients seeking the service, please follow up with the internal medicine department. Sorry for any inconvenience. This interrupt. The inconvenience might be that the people die, you know. But anyhow, and that is just one of a few. There's also the message that was circulated earlier this month, late last month, in relation to the, and let me see if I can find that one, in relation to the autoclave, so that surgeries, elective surgeries that, you know, could hold on a bit or so, or surgeries that, yeah, a person need to do it, but probably they could wait a little while, that you can't do them, you could only do emergency, because the autoclave that is used to sterilize the equipment to use in surgery, that'll work in. Yeah? And you're here in 1 minute it working, next minute it down. And that's not all, you know. There once again is a situation in relation to the shortage of medication. I had the Prime Minister talking and saying that, oh yes, they have medication. There's no somebody called from overseas, you know, because they know what their family is going through. You're hearing that when people who are diabetic and suffer from hypertension, etc., are going to health centers, they cannot get the medication that they need to get. And if diabetic people are not getting their medication, it is a dangerous situation. You're talking about situations where people could go to sleep and wake up blind. You're talking about situations where people can go to sleep, and if their sugar is not managed properly, they can go to sleep and never wake up, because they could end up in a coma and then die. So there are serious implications to not having these medications readily available for these people. And you're hearing that is not the only medication. I'm hearing about several other medications from different nurses in different locations that are not available. even some for people who are suffering different type of psychological problems, that there's a shortage in relation, maybe there's also some people in the government acting so, because there's a shortage in relation to medication for some of those areas. People who are suffering from psychological issues and they need to be medicated, that in some instances, some of those medications are not readily available. We're hearing those stories. We're still hearing the stories about shortage of equipment at different facilities. Basic thing like the same tubes, the IV tubes and so on. Basic. We're hearing that some of those things are not available at some of the health facilities. Yet still, you find over $2 million US per year to give to a company that you ensure could work in the state of Grenada with the people who in the state of Grenada. Let me take this call. Caller, you'll have to make it very brief because we only have about 2 or 3 minutes remaining. So you have to make it 1 minute. Go right ahead.
Yeah, Sheldon, good night. Yeah, just calling to remind the people of St. George Northwest and the western side and the people of Carriacou and Peter Martinic. Don't forget the lovely breakfast Saturday coming at the Busheju Community Center starting 7 a.m. in the morning. Breakfast and a barbecue sale. Sheldon, come out with enough money because whatever amount of money you come out with, you will spend all. But when you buy, don't go. Stay around and eat. Because I know you go spend your summer because of the lovely breakfast and the barbecue sale that St. John will provided. So Sheldon, have a blessed. Yeah?
All right, my brother. Thank you so very much. Yes, indeed, folks. Yeah, our time is limited. And you know what? Let me do that for the different constituencies one time. No, the after work line is going to be taking place next week, Friday. Yeah? That's the information I got in relation to the NNP after work line. It will be taking place next week, Friday. And the Carriacou Petit Martinique branch of the New National Party, they are having a breakfast sale. That's taking place this Saturday from 7 a.m. at the party office at the bus terminus in Carriacou. All right, so those of you up there, go on out and get your nice Carriacou breakfast. All right, and then remember, yes, the caller just called about this one. They're having a breakfast and barbecue. So you have breakfast, and then you can hang around for the barbecue. They have drinks on sale, go have music, different things like that. That's taking place this Saturday from 7 a.m. at the Bourgeois playing field, the New National Party St. George Northwest Constituency branch. Remember my little friend here, Kelani, all right, still needs our support. Yes, little Kelani still needs our support. And of
For more information, contact We Noise TV at 929-445-4463, or you can email us at wenoisetv@gmail.com. We Noise TV, the leading streaming provider. Anytime, anywhere, any screen. Access to your favorite HD contents with prices as low as ever. Choose from monthly, quarterly, or yearly payments. This worldwide service is flexible for you to keep up with all your favorite programs, shows, movies, and local programming from home no matter where you travel to. Worldwide TV channels right at your fingertips wherever you are. Latest in live sports, binge watch all your favorite TV shows, movies on demand, videos on demand you can pause, rewind, fast forward anytime. Never miss 1 minute in entertainment important to you. No contracts, no added prices for sports or premium packages. We certainly don't have to pull tricks like cable and satellite companies. Our product speaks for itself and beyond. We Noise TV. We have everything like Netflix, Disney, Amazon. Watch your favorite movies, TV shows, and series with our services. With our service, you will get rid of all other subscriptions. For more information, contact We Noise TV at 929-445-4463, or you can email us at wenoisetv@gmail.com.
Yes, indeed, folks. So that's our good friends at We Noise TV. And here you say people checking him and thing. If you find your message and you don't hear, you have to give him a call. If you wait 2 days, yeah, and you find you ain't get a message back from him, you have to make sure that you give them a call. Yeah, I think I taken the service just now too, yeah, that Netflixing for me, man. Yeah, I feel like this is better than Netflix because you're getting all that Netflix stuff and all them other sites, and then you're getting like everything in one. So I feel I would try that one out. Yes, indeed, folks. So as I said, we need your help to have the program tomorrow night. So I'm not confirming right now that we will have the show tomorrow night. Let's see what happens in the morning. And then according to what, we will be having a show tomorrow night because I want to deal with the issues surrounding the supervisor of election and also the electoral law. So I want to do a bit of that tomorrow night. And then possibly on Sunday, once time allows, once my schedule allows, because I said I'm working on a project right now, once my schedule allows on Sunday, we will, God's willing, Cammy would have roughed me for that. God's willing, we will have a program on Sunday. All right, and once we are having the program on Sunday, you'll see the notice will come out early. I'll send out a blast. So check the Facebook page. I'll put a notice there if we are doing the program tomorrow night and if we are doing the one on Sunday. We will put out notices to let you all know. Again, the Sunday program, this week Sunday, has had the most viewers for the last 2 months. We've had the most viewers on that particular program on Sunday. So it is something that we definitely have to look at. I know many folks were looking for Simon Says. This evening, it was not on, so it is going to be on tomorrow evening from 5 p.m. That's the notice I saw come out via their Facebook page, because a few people, they messaged me asking me, but listen, I had long hair too. And you're watching Jenny here, that Jenny here, that she real hair and she had. Jenny had long hair, I had long hair. But two of you are a bit different, you understand? They messaging me to poor me, Papa. Yes, but I did see the message. I do follow their Facebook page, and there was a message there that the program will be aired at 5 p.m. tomorrow. So Simon Says is on tomorrow. A lot of what you've been hearing for the past year on Simon Says was validated in the last few days. You see, I ain't even say anything about Jonathan Lacrette in tonight's program and his admission that there is corruption going on in the National Lottery Authority. I didn't even mention that. We talk about all kind of things. I even talk about that one. Yeah? So, folks, that's it for us for tonight. We will attempt to be on tomorrow night. As I told you all, we need your help. Yeah, we need your help. But we're going to attempt to be on tomorrow night with more talking points for you. So in everything you say, everything you do it safe and secure. Want to be speaking to and with you, and definitely not about you. My name is Sheldon Scott. Love each and every one of you. Do have a wonderful remainder of the night tonight.
you.